All right, big first round week matchup between Aaron Rodgers, newly signed with Pittsburgh, and Justin Fields with the Jets. They're all going to be talking about the quarterback and looking at that matchup, but there's some other fantasy matchups. How about Pat Fryermuth for Pittsburgh, tight end versus a new rookie Mason Taylor? We're going to look at that one. How about these wide receivers? Metcalf comes to town in Pittsburgh, and Garrett Wilson's going to be the number one, right? Jalen Warren versus Brees Hall, and of course that quarterback battle. But we're going to look at them all. But we're going to start with that down here at the bottom, wide receiver number 4. We're talking Roman Wilson for Pittsburgh, right? And Arian Smith for the Jets was a 4th-round pick, 110th overall. 4.4, 40-yard dash. Hey, he comes in. I don't know if he has much experience with special teams, but they're going to introduce him to the special teams early on. And, of course, Roman Wilson, of course, he was out, missed his whole rookie year, played 5 snaps, ankle and hamstring injuries. So, matchup down here, we're going to go with the more established Roman Wilson as the first point. All right, so the points are going to be assigned. If you haven't seen one of these yet, I got start here at the bottom with wide receiver 4, work our way up. Points get a little bit more as you move up the more important positions. Had a few of these already. Here's some of them: Philadelphia, Kansas City, and Miami wins in early action. If you haven't seen those videos, go check them out. But we're back here. We're going to go next to the backup quarterbacks. Mason Rudolph thought he was going to be the starter, right? Hey, he had finished 36th overall last year, had got into some action. Hey, as a record with the Steelers, 8-4-1. SI had him ranked as the 26th backup, taking him against Tyrod Taylor. Been around for a while, didn't see so much action last year. But Tyrod Taylor, 14-year veteran. I'm here to support the team and win in any fashion. SI had him ranked 18th. So we'll go with their SI rankings. Like I said, not above copying homework. So, hey, Tyrod Taylor, early 1-1 thing. Here we're going to go up to the running back number 3. Kenneth Gainwell comes in from the Eagles. All right, into Pittsburgh. Finished 62nd overall at running back last year. 290 yards, 1 touchdown. But he can tell you about his Super Bowl experience. Looks like Mike Tomlin bringing in another Super Bowl veteran. Going up against Isaiah Davis, a rookie last year. Got it at 71st overall, only 2 points a game. Going to be part of that 3-headed committee for the Jets, right? 30 carries last year, but 20% missed tackle rate during that thing. So, kind of a rookie. We're going to go with that 3-headed monster. We're going to go with Gainwell, I guess. Give him a little thing, a little more experience in the thing. I don't know. Isaiah Davis could be the 3rd running back looking in. Let's move up to the running back number 2. Some people might have Caleb Johnson as the number 1 in Pittsburgh. I'm going to wait, still have him as number 2. Comes in from Iowa here. Rookie. Tomlin says, hey, this is a high-volume, capable runner who was the center of his offense in college. A lot of NFL Sunday-like runs he saw. So capable of a high volume, could be the first and second down. We don't know yet. And, of course, Braylon Allen comes back. Had a pretty successful 51st overall, 4 points a game, 334 yards, 2 touchdowns. Hey, Glenn said came in, the Detroit, comes in from Detroit, Glenn does, where he was a coach, and they thrived with that rotation at running back, of course. So could Allen, be the touchdown? David Montgomery back for Aaron Glenn here. Well, I'm going to go with the Caleb Johnson, who has the chance to be the rookie third round. You know, it's not as high as some people think, but hey, deep class. We're going to go with Caleb Johnson, who has a chance, of course, to maybe be the top running back. We look at that 27th ranking they have, consensus. So we go out of that. And of course, Braylon Allen is going to be ranked 44th. So consensus has Caleb Johnson. And of course, I have him because, hey, he might get in there to the first spot. So Pittsburgh up 3-1. Let's move on to running our wide receiver number 3. We got Robert Woods coming in. All right. Hey, finished 128th. He might be on the sunset of his. Oh, another Super Bowl participant. Seems like a trend with Tomlin and these Pittsburgh and these free agent signings. I'm trying to feed my knowledge to everybody on the team, he says. Well, he might be called upon early because we'll see about how depth they have. Josh Reynolds for the Jets. All right. Comes in 119th last year. Been around, a lot of teams, been there. But he's played 3 seasons with the Lions. And those were Glenn and the Jets. Offensive coordinator Tanner Estran comes from there. So has experience with Glenn and the coaching staff. So that's probably why they brought him in. So an aging veteran in Robert Woods. You see it's really dropped off here lately. Is there anything out rather than talking? So I don't know. Josh Reynolds, though, only 25 fantasy points last year. He's been around too. Battle of the veterans. And he's never, so it's which one's going to get the most opportunity. And, you know, with this number 2, Alan Lazard not being so. And we look at the schedule first, 4th schedule for the Jets at passing, and 13th for the, I just going to have to go with Josh Reynolds a little bit more. So we're going to go with Josh Reynolds. Let's move to that wide receiver number 2 position. Of course, Calvin Austin. And maybe not a household name, finished 52nd last year, 5 points a game. Hey, 500 yards, 4 touchdowns for the Steelers. Gets a new quarterback, one of the fastest players in the NFL. He's fast and gets a quarterback upgrade. It'll work that middle possibly. And got, of course, Alan Lazard. Of course, brought into the Jets for Aaron Rodgers, who's not there any longer. Did average 7.4 a game last year. 500 yards, 6 touchdowns. Trade talk still, hey, maybe they're going to trade him. Passing downgrade. Even though we're not saying which quarterback's going to be better, it's just that maybe there's not going to be as many passes his way. Of course, all year for Calvin Austin. Hey, Alan Lazard here, 500 yards, missed those games in the middle. We're going to go with Calvin Austin. Better quarterback. I mean, it might be the first option for Justin Fields and then run. And that doesn't work too good for a questionable number 2 receiver anyway. So, all right, we'll move on to tight end, which is a good one. We got Pat Freiermuth, right? Tight end. Hey, finished 9th overall last year, 6.3 points a game, 7 touchdowns, 653 yards. Could be the number 2 target in that offense. Unproven at wide receivers other than the top. And a good upgrade at quarterback. Likes using those tight ends, right? Up against a rookie, Mason Taylor. All right, comes in first round pick. Known for his exceptional catching and ability and agility, dynamic presence on the field. But Pat Freiermuth, of course, is a little more established here, right? Finished 9th overall last year. So, hey, the points got to go to the more established and the better passing quarterback here was Pat Freiermuth. All right, Steelers up an impressive 8-2. Let's move on to, but that's the deep bench. Let's move on to the wide receiver number 1. Consensus ranking has DK Metcalf 23rd, Garrett Wilson 27th. Hey, let's take a quick look at this schedule. 4th for the Jets, 13th for the Steelers. And Aaron Rodgers, Metcalf comes to town from Seattle, ready to finish 31st last year at wide receiver. less than 1,000 yards, 5 touchdowns. Hey, super athlete with speed to bird. Metcalf should be the feature in this offense. All right. Number 1 wide receiver with a good quarterback. How about Garrett Wilson? Garrett Wilson finished 14th, playing second fiddle to Devontae Adams last year. He's going to have a chance to be the number 1, 1,100 yards, 7 touchdowns. So, team's first option at wide receiver. And like I say, Fields might be the first look. And then if he ain't open, run. And I like the Wilson. Hey, was an impressive first pick, 10th overall. All right. So, draft capital. Of course, Metcalf. He came in as a second rounder, but getting that 5-year, $150 million contract. It's a close matchup. A little easier here. I am going to pick, I like Wilson. I think that it might turn up that Fields coming in at quarterback might look at his first option and then run. But if they're behind, they're going to go to Garrett Wilson. I think he's going to be laser locked in on him, where Aaron Rodgers might have more options other than just Metcalf. So we're going to go with Garrett Wilson. And that comes to an 8-5. Moving on to the number 1 running back. We got Jaylen Warren there. Coming in, was 40th last year. Has his chance to be the number 1 running back now. That going to be the average 5 yards per touch last season. One of the rare, that's rare, in each of his first 3 seasons. Now, remember Tony Pollard. He was always, why doesn't he start? And was always look great as the number 2 running back. Gets his chance to be the number 1, and then, hey, it wasn't so easy, apparently. How about Jaylen Warren, though, is their top one? Finished 40th, like I said. And, of course, take that against Breece Hall. Breece Hall, of course, 2 years ago was everyone's darling. Finished 17th last year. That's 11.7 points a game there. That's still pretty good. You can see here, least efficient season of his career. He is in a contract year. And, of course, there's the talk of the 3-headed monster there. So, but, hey, you can see just looking back here, the last couple of years, he's done really good. So, got to go with the more established Breece Hall, bringing us to an 8-8 tie. So next up is, of course, the quarterback position. We'll go with Aaron Rodgers versus Justin Fields. Aaron Rodgers comes to town. Finished 16th last year. Did a little better than what people expected there. And almost 4,000 yards, 28 touchdown passes. He is the better of the quarterbacks. Signed, sealed, but can he deliver there in Pittsburgh up against Justin Fields? Justin Fields, hey, 31st overall, but only played 6 games, right? And the passing numbers aren't there. But, hey, will he be run first? Or look that first option and run? 5 rushing TDs and only 6 starting games last year. So we go to the tape here. Look at the years. Well, it's not too long ago that in 2022, he averaged almost 20 points a game with those legs. Finished one of the top 5 quarterbacks, and in 2023 had a great average. So we're looking over a fantasy average here of at least 16, and he's in my top 10. Where Aaron Rodgers here, yes, he has some good years himself too, passing, but you can see these last 2 are down a little bit. The wheels just aren't there at all. You see 107 yards rushing, just not going to run any touchdowns and going to rely on the arm. And Pittsburgh's defense is pretty good. So he ain't going to be coming from behind. So, hey, this may be a surprise, but I'm going to go with Justin Fields as the better fantasy quarterback. And the Jets win 12-8. Aaron Rodgers is a good quarterback and might help Pittsburgh win some games. But as far as fantasy, and that's what we're talking about, I like Justin Fields, right? Had been there, done that. So Justin Fields is going to be my top quarterback between the two, and that powers the Jets to a 12-8 lead. Let's take a look at this.